Hi all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a vintage book journal from scratch. That is using only just blank A4 paper. The first step is to take your paper and fold them. I didn't try to trim these, but if you want to make a smaller journal, you can always cut these to a creative size. I'm just folding these up so that each page will be half the A4 size. So these are the book pages that I have. Next I'm gonna take sets of 3 A4 pages. That means 6 folded pages, and I'm gonna make punch holes in the middle of each set. The way I'm planning to bind these pages is by sewing them up using a needle and a thread. So I want to make sure that the pages in each set have punch holes in the same places. That's why I am punching them together. So I made 5 sets with 6 pages in each set. That means the journal will have 30 pages and 60 sides. So I didn't bind these yet. Before I do that, I need to stain these pages. Right now they look very white and clean like normal A4 sheets, but this is supposed to be a vintage journal, so I want to make the pages yellowish, like they have aged. So I'm using watercolors to paint over them so that they get yellow marks and spots like old parchment. But after adding watercolor marks, I felt like tea staining will be a lot easier and less time consuming. So that's what I'm doing next. I'm staining this using tea, but you can also use coffee. There are so many videos on YouTube that explain how to do tea or coffee staining. So I'm not gonna go into detail of that, but I just want to tell you guys that although tea staining is a little messy, it's the best way to stain your paper. The finish was so much better than using watercolor stains, and the paper really did end up looking like old parchment. They also have this smell of tea leaves about them, which I kind of like. Some people might not like it, but I happen to like it. Anyway, a few things to notice though is that you need somewhat heavy paper for this process to be effective. If your paper is very thin and flimsy, it'll be difficult to soak them up in tea or coffee and leave them for more than a couple of minutes without damaging the paper. So you can get the best results with this process if your paper is somewhat thicker and heavier, so that you can leave them soaked for a longer period of time and the paper will be stained more. Alright, so after staining and drying your papers, you can either press them overnight or iron them with a light temperature so that they will look pressed and flat and wrinkle free like these. Now it's time to bind the pages. Make sure you have a strong thread and a somewhat large needle for this. I honestly don't use any specific method to thread these. I just take the thread through the previously punched holes in a way that the pages are securely bound together. I'm gonna bind each set of pages separately, and once I'm done with that, I take each set and bind it to the spine of a cardboard book cover that I made. This book cover was made using a cereal box. You can use anything that's available to you. Anything will do as long as the spine is strong. This is how it looks once I'm done. Because I don't use a specific method, the binding doesn't look very neat in my case, but that's alright because I'll be covering these up later anyway. Once this is done, I'll be adding a piece of fabric to the spine of the book. I just glue it to the spine. If you want to know what glue I'm using, please check the video description. I'm adding a piece of fabric and another piece of cardboard because the spine has to be really strong for the book to hold properly. So I'll be adding more cardboard to the cover pages as well. So just make sure you add as many cardboard support as you need to make sure that the spine is strong and you have um, thick book covers. Once that's done, I open up the pages and add washi tape to the places where the binding thread is showing. The washi tape will also make sure that there won't be any bleed through the spine of the pages. It's for extra protection as well as to keep things neat. So we are pretty much done at this point. Next, you can add a book cover and then decorate the pages in whatever way you like. In my case, I chose to give this an autumn leaf book cover, so to keep up with that theme, I added leaves and stickers of leaves and flowers into the book pages to complete it. This is what the final book journal looks like. By the way, the purpose of a handmade journal is mostly for gifting. It kind of makes a special gift, especially if your friend also enjoys crafty things like you do. I'm sure they're gonna really like this gift. Um, as for me, I don't think I will use any of these books that I make. I will most probably give them away as gifts to my friends. Alright, so that's a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. And there will be a couple more videos coming up until I use up all of my materials. Please do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time with more art videos. Bye bye.